early on in my priesthood, I had the opportunity to kind of work with, as we all do, people that are thinking about the priesthood and things. And the pastor I was with was working with this young man, and just seemed like he was a nice kid. But he'd get up and lecture, and he kind of lectured with a certain voice, and then he'd converse with the staff, and he sounded like, he was very conversational, a really nice guy, but his voice was a little bit different there. He just was much more relaxed. And then when he'd pray, it sounded like he was in a monastery, and at different points of the day, he sounded like a totally different person. So my pastor looked at him one day, and he was like, "So I've heard of there's 4 of you today. Which one are you? I'm trying to figure out who you are through this thing, but who are you?" And I thought that was, an interesting thing to think about. And we can ask ourselves that same question sometimes, because what you call a person, I guess, that can be a different thing at different times during the day. Sometimes you could say they're a chameleon. They want to be all things to all people. So when I'm reading, I want to sound like I'm holy, and when I'm with you, I want to sound like I'm conversing and I'm just like you, but aren't we supposed to be the same person at all times? To be a truly authentic witness, we need to be real, we need to be ourselves, and throughout our lives, we figure out who we are. I love that line, "Who do people say that I am?" If we ask ourselves that question, who do people say that we are, and who do we say that we are? Because the Lord uses our humanity to reach others and his mission and his love through us. Not just how we act or how people perceive us, but who we actually are. And hopefully we're that 100% of the time. But that's our life trying to get there and be as authentic witnesses as we possibly can be. But Peter, he answered when they said, "Who do the people say that Jesus is?" "You are the Christ, the Son of God." Jesus, his love, his mercy does not change. He is what we need to emulate. He is love and mercy itself. Jesus is the same before, during, and after. He is God. And we are called to be his witnesses just as Peter was. And yes, we know that Peter was a flawed man. Peter betrayed Jesus 3 times. Peter was not there at the foot of the cross. He was scared. He ran away. He was not a perfect man, but still the Lord used him in his weak humanity to serve him and to be the first pope, to lead his church. So may we not try to pretend that we're somebody else with our own lives. May we strive to be us. He called us as we are, but he has called it that way because he does feel that we are holy. And we strive for holiness over and over in our life, but we strive to be that authentic witness to the gospel, not just putting on different faces or different hats, but being you, because he called you and he called me to preach his word. So yes, we celebrate our Lord's resurrection at all times, and we give ourselves in the mission to the gospel. But he called us each individually as we are. We're not supposed to be carbon copies of anybody else. We have our own gifts, we have our own talents, and he has called you to spread his gospel.